Hey guys, what's up? I'm Joel, and this is the Disney Gossip Show. I'm super excited about the show today. We're going to be talking about Festival of the Arts, which runs over at EPCOT between January the 17th to February the 24th.
This weekend at Walt Disney World Resort. EPCOT is the place to be. The park will celebrate the return of EPCOT International Festival of the Arts and the grand debut of 3 new film experiences starting this weekend. You can be our guest at the brand new Beauty and the Beast sing-along in the French Pavilion, catch the Canada Far and Wide and Circle Vision 360 at the Canada Pavilion, or revisit the Land Pavilion for Awesome Planet. As for festival fun, get ready to be wowed by live art demonstrations, attend artist signings, and taste the best culinary art our chefs have to offer. The first Disney on Broadway performance also takes place January 17th with Kissy Simmons and Alton Fitzgerald White taking the stage at America Gardens Theater. What are your Disney plans? Tell us on Twitter with the hashtag Disney Weekend.
Maybe a bit of a unpopular opinion, but Festival of the Arts is actually my favourite festival over at EPCOT. And I actually do prefer it to Food and Wine, which, as I say, a lot of people may not agree with, but there is a number of reasons for me why that is the case. Now, I think Food and Wine is the festival which everybody knows at EPCOT. It's like the EPCOT Festival, but because of that, it gets super, super busy. Whereas at Festival of the Arts, it's a little bit more, I guess, under the radar. So you have a bit more time to do things at your own pace and really enjoy it and take in all the different stands they have there. And that kind of leads me to my next point, whereas Food and Wine is obviously predominantly about the food and the beverages, whereas Festival of the Arts is a mix of food, entertainment with Disney on Broadway. But then you've also actually got the art, which for me is a massive thing. I'm a big fan of Disney's art style and cinematography. So it's super interesting, I think, to go around to all the different pop-up stores and look at the different artists and see the work they're doing. I'm a big fan of an artist called Rodel Gonzalez, who is classed as one of the Disney fine arts. He does quite a lot of really interesting pieces of art, as you can see on the screen now. There's a photo, a painting I should say, which is one of my favourites, and it's the characters from Winnie the Pooh crossing the bridge. You can see it at the moment on the screen. I personally love the art style. I think it's really interesting. Where I live is where Winnie the Pooh, the 100 Acre Wood, the real 100 Acre Wood is actually is themed on. So to me, it's a story which has always been really close to my heart, and I think Rodel does a really great. He really kind of captures the feeling of Winnie the Pooh in his art, and to me, yeah, it's just an amazing piece of work, and I really like what he's doing. But you know, that's another reason why Festival of the Arts is so great, because there's so many different artists who have complete distinct styles, and there's almost something there for everyone. So yeah, I find it a lot more interesting than Food and Wine because, as I say, it's not just about the food and drink. There is a lot more to do. If you've had the chance to go over to the Festival of the Arts before, you probably would have seen Disney on Broadway, which is on the big stand right by the American Pavilion. You can see now all the dates of the different acts which will be performing, but there's some really high quality entertainers here, and like you'd tell from the name, a lot of these acts have represented Disney or been in Disney productions on Broadway. So as I say, very high quality. And you may go to a Broadway show and it could cost you, $80 to $120 even, and getting to go into EPCOT for the price of the daily admission, you may even have a annual pass, so it's kind of almost not costing you much for that specific day, and you get to see Broadway quality performances is pretty outstanding for me. But yeah, I mean, have a look through the list and see what there is which takes your fancy. There's things from performance of The Lion King, which is one of the highly regarded shows on Broadway, and over here in London in the West End as well. So there's some really top quality performers, and again, it's just a whole another thing that really shows Festival of the Arts as being something which is something for everyone, and it's a really exciting festival, and there's always so many things to learn about as well. And talking about learning, for me, as say, the art style and cinematography is really, really interesting. I am not a good artist whatsoever. I cannot draw, unfortunately, even though it's something I'd love to be able to do. But what I really enjoy is the interactive workshops that they have all around EPCOT. Now, these run multiple times a week. They do cost, but I think it's quite a small fee for what you get. You really get to... They're not one-on-one, but they're often... There's not many people in there at all, so you get a really intimate experience with really talented artists, and you can learn how they work and the way they do things. So maybe if you're like me, who you appreciate the art, but you're not good at doing it yourself, or maybe you're a budding artist or even an experienced artist, I think it's always really interesting to see how these guys work. And you can go to these workshops, see exactly what they're doing, and also create your own pieces as well, which can be a great souvenir. So if you're thinking you're paying maybe around $39 for one of these workshops, and although you're kind of making it yourself, but you get a souvenir from that, it's not a bad price at all, I think. Festival of the Arts is definitely my favourite festival over at EPCOT. I am a fan of the other festivals. Of course, Food and Wine is great, and they have a great selection. But definitely, you know, if you haven't been before, do take the time to go. It is one of the festivals which is a bit of, it is slightly under the radar, I guess. Much like Flower and Garden as well, is a great festival, but yeah, I think Festival of the Arts is my personal favourite. Disney get really creative with the things they're doing there, and there's obviously the art, the food, and the performances as well. So it's very varied and definitely worth checking out. It'd be great to hear your guys, what your favourites are. Is it Food and Wine? Is it Flower and Garden? Is it Festival of the Arts as well? It'd be great to hear your thoughts and what you like about it, and also maybe what you don't like about Festival of the Arts and what they could do to maybe improve it a little bit as well. If you are going, it'd be great to see your images as well. Do send those over to me. You can follow me on Instagram and on Twitter as well, which is linked in the start of the video and also in the channel description. But do get in contact. I really enjoy seeing your photos and videos and hearing about your experiences as well. And I think that's what this channel is about, really. Just having a chat with you guys and learning about Disney and having an excuse to talk about Disney, which is obviously a topic which is, close to my heart and something I really enjoy talking about. You may have seen in my logo that I've got two cats and thought, why have you got that? Well, I've got two British short hair cats, and this is one of them. This is little Tomiko is going to claw my jeans, which is not good. But this is Tomiko. You have to see Kiyomi hopefully in the next episode. But these are the two cats in the logo, and that's why they're obviously big Disney fans as well. But yeah, I obviously always finish these videos with a tip, and it's sometimes for people who have never been to Disney World before, Disneyland, or any of the Disney parks, or people who have been many times. This one I think is probably the Disney veterans will know, but it's definitely something which a lot of people complain about. And when you're spending a lot of money to go to Disney World, it's something to know for sure. Sometimes, obviously, we do our fast passes 60 days out, but you don't always get the ride. So, for example, Flight of Passage, even Slinky Dog can be super hard to get. But don't be discouraged. I think there's always the possibility of actually getting those fast passes on the day. Flight of Passage is the hardest one to get, but it's definitely achievable. I have got it on the day. Slinky Dog as well. You can definitely get it. It can take almost 30 minutes, but if you ever, you're in a park that day and you really want to go on a ride and, you haven't got the fast pass, when you're sitting down for lunch, you can sit on your phone and all you need to do is go onto the ride and just keep refreshing it. I know it can be a bit monotonous, but you keep refreshing it over and over again. And so for example, last time we were flying home roughly at 6 p.m. that night, and we were in Hollywood Studios about 1 p.m. And it was the first time we'd gone on Slinky Dog, but because we'd done the fast pass before, we'd only had one fast pass for it a few days before. So we'd only ridden it once, and my partner was desperate to go on it again. So really didn't want to go home and not have the opportunity to do it. Obviously, living in the UK, we don't get to go to Disney World as much as we'd like, only once or twice a year. So we went for lunch and we we flicked through the My Disney Experience, and we got to Slinky Dog Dash, and as you'd expect, there was no fast passes available. We kept refreshing it, and eventually one popped up and we instantly got it. But that's happened before for say Flight of Passage as well, Alien Flying Saucers. What else have we got it for? Rock and Roller Coaster. They're slightly easier. Obviously, as I say, Slinky Dog and Flight of Passage are the two hardest, but they're definitely there. So today's tip is, if you do not have a fast pass, don't fret. There's definitely the possibility that you will be able to get one. Go onto the app when you're sitting down for a bit. Just keep refreshing it over and over again. And I wouldn't be surprised at all if you did get one. You've been watching the Disney Gossip Show. I'm Joel. It's been great to have you watching again, and look forward to speaking again next week.